Lawrence O'Brien Branch was a North Carolina representative in the U.S. Congress and a Confederate brigadier general in the American Civil War, killed at the Battle of Antietam. Early life and career. Branch was born in Enfield, Halifax County, North Carolina to Major Joseph Branch and Susan Simpson O'Brien Branch. His childhood home, the Cellar, was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1979. His family moved to Williamson County, Tennessee, but his mother died when he was 5 and his father died in 1827. His uncle, Secretary of the Navy John Branch, assumed his guardianship and took him back to North Carolina. Branch moved to Washington City with his uncle when the latter took the position as Secretary of the Navy, and he was tutored by Salmon P. Chase. He pursued a preparatory course under a private teacher in Washington, D.C., before going on to train at North Carolina's Bingham Military Academy. He also attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill for a short time and, in 1838, graduated first in his class from Princeton College before going to study law in Nashville, Tennessee, where he also owned and edited a newspaper. In 1840, Branch moved to Tallahassee, Florida, and was admitted to the bar to practice law by a special act of the legislature. Just 1 year later, he went to fight in the Seminole Wars. In 1844, he married Nancy Haywood Blunt and they had 4 children. In 1852, he moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, where he continued to practice law and became president of the Raleigh and Amp Gaston Railroad Co. He also served as an elector on the Franklin Pierce ticket in 1852. Branch was elected as a Democrat to the 34th, 35th, and 36th Congresses but was not a candidate for re-nomination in 1860. On December 2, 1860, he was appointed the position of Secretary of the Treasury by President James Buchanan. Civil War. Branch entered the Confederate Army in May 1861 as a private in the Raleigh Rifles. Later that month he accepted the office of State Quartermaster General but resigned it for service in the field, and in September he was elected Colonel of the 33rd North Carolina. He was appointed Brigadier General in January 1862. After the Battle of New Bern, his brigade was attached to A.P. Hill's division, Stonewall Jackson's corps. He was the senior brigadier general in Hill's division. Branch's brigade fought at the Battle of Hanover Courthouse, the 7 Days Battles, Cedar Mountain, Second Manassas, the Chantilly, and Harper's Ferry, Antietam. On September 17, 1862, he led his troops on a rapid march from Harper's Ferry to Sharpsburg, Maryland, where the Battle of Antietam was raging. Branch arrived on the field around 2:30 p.m. in time to help stop the Union advance, thus saving General Robert E. Lee's right flank from a crushing defeat. Soon after this victory, Branch stood talking with fellow Brigadier Generals Max E. Gregg, Dorsey Pender, James J. Archer, along with Hill and General Lee, when a Federal sharpshooter, seeing the group, fired a shot that hit him in the right cheek and exited behind his left ear, killing him instantly. He fell dead into the arms of a staff officer. Dates of rank: Private, May 1, 1861. Colonel, September 1, 1861. Brigadier General, January 16, 1862. Memorials. Branch had won the respect of his fellow officers, and after his death Hill said of him, "He was my senior brigadier and one to whom I could have entrusted the command of the division with all confidence. No country has a better son, a nobler champion, no principal a bolder defender than the noble and gallant soldier, General Lawrence O'Brien Branch." A memorial cannon now stands at the location where Branch was killed. 5 other memorial cannons are placed throughout the battlefield, marking the locations other commanders lost their lives. Branch is buried at the Old City Cemetery, Raleigh, North Carolina.